Hey, Laura Evangeline here. I'm back with part 2 of the Feline Spooky Project miniseries. In the last one, we did that Franken Kitty card there, and today we are doing this little guy here. Did someone say a treats? The base layer for this card is a top folding A2, which was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches tall, and I trimmed the bottom off so it would be 4 1/4 inches square. This pattern paper piece that's going on first is 4 inches by 4 inches, and then this textured white piece, I want more of the pattern to show, so it's cut down 1/2 inch smaller, so it's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 square. Then I have this green piece of pattern paper left over from the first card. You can still see the torn edge there, and I'm punching a 2 1/2 inch circle in there, so I'll have a window. It covers a little bit more of the white below than I want, so I'm going to trim it down a tad bit so we have some peekaboo happening behind. So ultimately I've trimmed this piece down to 3 inches wide by 3 and about 3/4 inches tall. Now I can still see that white textured piece underneath and everything, and I still have that pretty little frayed edge, which I like, and I just need to figure out which stamped images I like, where I want them, and which sentiment is going to fit. I settled on the skeleton kitty for this one and his little spider toy, and since we have a spider, we must have a spider web. I cut this from vellum, and I need to make sure everything's going to fit, that I have room for my kitty and my spider and a sentiment, and that nothing gets covered up before I go on and add a little bit of stitching. I added stitching in a zigzag pattern here, and then I also added a bit of stitching, just a straight stitch around 3 sides of the green frame. I also went ahead and added some foam strips to the back so it will be popped up from the base layer. Before I attach this piece though, I need to stamp my sentiment since there will be a gap here between the top layer and where the stamp actually sits. So I'll dry fit my stamp, take a pencil and trace that circle, and now I can take this white piece over to my stamp platform. And I'm using a stamp platform because this piece of paper is textured, so if I don't get the image, the sentiment stamped out crisply, I can re-ink my stamp and stamp again in the exact same spot until I'm happy with it. Alright, we are in the home stretch now. All I need to do is erase this pencil line here just in case it shows through, flip it on over, add a bit of adhesive, and attach it to the card base. I need to dry fit my spider web one more time to make sure that sentiment isn't covered, trace it out, and trim away the excess before gluing it to the card base. I don't need the stick here, so I'm trimming away that from the spider toy, and I'll go ahead and attach my frame using a little bit of liquid adhesive. This will give me some drying time to carefully place my frame, and also since the textured paper is beneath, it will, as it dries, lock securely in place. I do plan to put a little bow around here, so I'm laying that down. I probably should have tied it around the frame before I added the adhesive, but didn't think about it. I'm putting a small bit of foam adhesive on the back of the spider's body, and then I'll flip him over and add a little bit of liquid adhesive here to the web. Is it a web? I'm not sure what this is. Well, I guess it's a string because it's his cat toy, right? So I'm adding a bit of liquid adhesive to that. Then I'll use my tweezers to reach under and press up on that area and use my finger to press down on the pattern paper to make sure that contact is made between the adhesive and the papers. Alright, now we can tie the bow, give it a little zhuzh, and trim the tails to length. A bit of foam adhesive was added to our little kitty, ensuring I doubled up the areas where his head would be hanging into the circle since that's already raised. A few dots of liquid adhesive will give me some wiggle time to place him in just the right spot before the glue has time to set. To emphasize that torn edge on the bottom, I'm using my fingers to kind of curl and rough it up a little bit more before moving on to sequins. I've dry fit the sequins where I think they'll go on the project, and just like I did in the last video, I'm taking a scrap bit from the adhesive foam carrier sheet. It has a glossy, waxy finish. Squeeze a drop of liquid glue, and then I'll take my sequins over and dip them in and bring them back over to my project. This way I won't have big globs of glue or risk a whole bunch of glue smashing and squeezing out the sides, creating kind of a muffin top of glue like it's the top of my jeans or something. Anywho, after those are all done, the last thing I did, which I didn't capture on video, was to splatter on black, white, and a clear sparkle ink. Now, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because the next card up is this cute little bat kitty. Until next time, stay crafty.